Hi and welcome back to Let's Play Might and Magic 6. This is episode 41, and in the previous episode we sort of leveled up a bit. Now if we look at our experience though, we need about 20 or 25,000 more experience points to level our characters. And if we look at our skills, both our sorcerer here, our archmage, and our druid get to master, well, I should say, get to level 12, which is the sufficient condition for mastery, in water magic, and for our sorcerer here, in fire magic. Mastery definitely something to chase for those spell schools, because if we go into the lists here, we can see that quite a few of them have different, well, every single one of them actually has an improved version of that spell that when we get to expert, and then which we are, and then also again when we get to mastery. So, you know, meteor shower recovers faster and adds 4 more meteors, for instance. So what we could do with doing before we go to mist, which is where we are going to get the masteries for those, it's just getting about 25,000 more XP, and I think I've found a place that we can go. There is a dungeon on this map, and we won't have to leave the map, that has a side quest, and Eleanor Vanderbilt the Pathfinder is the character who will give us that quest. Here we are. So Cedric Druthers and his Celestial Order have taken over the Monolith, an ancient place sacred to druids. Their dark rituals are corrupting the Monolith, and they need to be stopped. Whatever altar they use as the centre of their ceremonies needs to be defaced. Do this for us, and we will compensate you for your time and services. That is the quest, and it's down here in the southwest corner of the map. There, in fact. So let's see. Let's cast Water Walk, and we can sort of make a beeline there. We'll cast some Wizard Eye as well, just make sure we're not going to run head first into any enemies. So this is a fairly small dungeon, and we should hopefully be able to get through it in the space of just one episode here. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's fire up things like shield. We want to get some protection from magic. Where's protection from magic? Someone has protection from magic, there we go. And we'll throw on some... We have quite a few more buff spells here. We'll throw on some, let's see, speed and power as well. And let's see what we have in here. So we've got a message scroll here. We should read that and see what it says. Look to nature, where civilization fails. The rocks and trees, the sky and earth all hold a power greater than man. It's just basically providing us the clue that we should click on each of these things, and we get some gold out of those, and that's pretty nice. But later on, oh, here we are. Right, so here are our first encounters in here, which are druids. I looked at the vulnerabilities for these. I mean, they're a little annoying to fight in that they don't make a beeline for us. Unlike most. They will sort of not be drawn out of a room that easily. But they're weakest against physical damage, which means we'll just keep whacking them with some arrows, and that's that. A nice pile of gold there, and then this rock here will open the door there. So next room we have more druids. This protection from magic I think is working very well, because even these things that are hitting us and not doing a great amount of damage. Oh, that's good. But let's try and just take one at a time if we can. We don't want to expose ourselves more than we need to. I hope I click record on this video, because it's just occurred to me that I might not have. Okay, so our druid has been hit by one of the special skills from these druids, which is an immediate having his magic points immediately sort of sapped to 0. So that does close off some of our one of our offensive spells there. One of our offensive magic characters, I should say. In these corridors especially, Sparks is very useful, so we may end up missing that. Let's just put a few heals on our characters here before we head into this room with even more druids. Right, they're nearly dead. Now you... So this is giving us a bit of XP. I'll take a look and see how much. So we're on about 25,000 before, now we need 24. So it's going pretty slowly. But there's not that many rooms in this dungeon, fortunately. We can rest and heal here, and that's probably worthwhile. So let's recast things like Protection from Magic there, Bless, Power, Shield, and Speed. Yeah, click the rock. Here we go. What we have now is Earth Elementals, and Earth Elementals are a little different. They are pretty impervious to physical damage, also to magic damage, but elemental attacks work pretty well. So fire, electricity, cold, they all work fairly well. So what we want to do is draw them closer, and then we'll hit them with sparks. They're not immune completely to physical damage, it's just they're somewhat resistant, apparently. Let's just throw a heal on there. Okay, so this is just an Earth Spirit. There, I think the next one is a little more powerful. Yes, that's an Earth Elemental there. So let's just try and get as many spells. I don't think our Paladin or our Cleric, unfortunately, have any spells that are useful here. So they have to fall back to physical damage. And risk having a lot of their damage resisted by these elementals. But that's it, just the two in that room by the looks of it. So we can continue onward. Anything there? No? Okay, next room then. What have we in here? Okay, and now we are into the third type of encounter here, which is water elementals. These are... fire is good here, electricity is good here. So once again, we'll hit it with the shower of sparks rebounding off the walls and doing a fair bit of damage for a very, very low cost in mana points. We can probably hit these with physical as well by the looks of it. Yeah, we can. But it's much better for the two characters that have sparks to be able to just do this repeatedly. Pretty much the entire thing is hitting, which does quite a bit of damage. And once we've taken this one out, it looks as though the room might be empty. Oh no, we got a couple more incoming as well. Okay, so let's just do this as quick as we can. Yeah, we're resisting a lot of the worst attacks from these things, fortunately, because I think currently, yeah, our magic resistance is buffed up to, by the looks of it, just a couple of points, but it seems to make a big difference. It seems to be reducing the damage that we're getting hit by. Okay, there's a room here that... oh, there's some gold lying on the floor. For one thing, there's a tree that doesn't do anything, and these pillars just... oh dear. Gave us a curse. Okay, we do have a remove curse. So let's see if we can do that. Yeah, we can. Great, I think we have to be fast about it, but yeah, we can. There we go. Okay, probably shouldn't have clicked that after all. I'm not going to go for the other one. No, let's go for the other one. Nope, same deal. Yep. So can he self-curse remove? No. Well, maybe if we... yes, okay. Alright, be quick. We need this, come on. because we have a low, what is this, spirit? We have a low spirit magic. The effective period of these removal spells is somewhat limited. Once we're expert, it goes up quite a bit. Let's see now. So let's just keep plugging these things with arrows. They do. They are most susceptible to physical damage, as I said. So that's the best thing we have available. Although we are getting hit quite hard here. Is it just because there's a number of high-level creatures there or something worn off? Now it looks as though our protection from magic is worn off, so let's get that back up again. A little bit shield. I think we already had shield, but we certainly need bless again. And let's go for... What does power do anyway? Might and endurance, and then speed does speed. That makes sense. I assume that speed factors in... Well, we can probably check it now. I assume that speed factors into... oh, recovery time and armor class, actually. It doesn't contribute to evasion by the looks of it, but I maybe would have guessed that it did, but apparently not. Right, can we just take one of these at a time? Is that even going to be possible? I suspect not. But that's okay. Oh, right, now our cleric is out of mana, which is a shame because he's our healer. But yeah, so is our sorcerer. So once we've taken this out, we'll go back and rest, just to regain our mana there. If we just go back into this room, it should be safe. We'll rest up and cast all the buffs once again, like so. It's, yeah, we will eventually get a spell that we can do a number of those at the same time, and not a moment too soon. Now here, oh man, that was not the right thing. So one of these pillars will open the thing. Actually, we should just try and use all of them now. I thought one of them would, but no, I guess not. I've just managed to hit ourselves with cursors for no good reason. Well, good job. Okay, so let's try and cast this spell while we still can. Come on! I just need it to work once, and then... Ah, come on. Well, this was idiotic. I thought there was... there we go. I thought there was a pillar in this room that opened a door. But I guess I was misremembering the sequence of the rooms, because the door is open and this thing didn't actually need anything to open anything. But there we go. There's our cursors removed. We've got an earth spirit in here and some druids. The earth spirit will head towards us and we should be able to draw it off down this corridor. There we go. The druids shouldn't follow us, so we should just be able to take this one out on its own. It's quite conveniently. Let's just kill this one druid over that side and then turn around. Oh, there's a rock beast. Okay, so if we can draw that down the corridor as well, that'd be great. There we go. And then what is that? A Grand Druid. Physical damage on the Grand Druid. There we go. Our sorcerer has lost mana once again. Okay, there we go. This was the room where you have to click on the pillars. So, let's look in the map here. So I think we've got about 2 rooms to go. We are still not... Well, we still need about 20,000 experience points, it seems, before we're going to be ready for these characters to level up. So I don't think from the kills in this place we're going to get enough. But I suspect... There we go. But I suspect we will get a lot more from handing in. Okay, so here we are in the last room. We're going to need to deal with this in a more intelligent way than that. So let's try and sort of draw a few off down the corridor here. And try and take them out sort of one at a time. This is a room with lots of with lots of druids and earth elementals in, so we're just going to have to try and take these out as fast as we can. I really should be healing the sorcerer, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's just go a little further down here, just because I don't want to be exposed to the spells of that druid while we're taking out the earth elemental. Here we go. Come on, earth elemental. So, sparks, just hit it with the sparks, hit it with arrows, hit it with whatever we have. Nearly there. Fortunately, even though we've lost the mana... Oh, well that's not good. It appears that our cleric is unconscious. We do have a healing touch spell on our paladin that will be useful here. Not a very powerful spell, but enough to bring him out of consciousness and cast some healing spells of his own. We'll do a rest here. And then bring up everything again to go back in there. As we get more and more of these things, probably more so than leveling up, the thing that's going to improve our survivability in dungeons and in the overworld now, in places that we previously haven't been able to go, is going to be the spells. Like we're close to a point where, or we will at some point reach a point where it doesn't really matter what level we are. It really matters what skills we have and what spells we have. So it looks as though, oh, there we go, we've got a couple more coming around. I've got maybe sort of 10 more creatures to kill in this place. Let's just get this great druid here. There we go. And is someone else coming around the corner? Just one would be good. Here we go, rock beast. That'll do just fine. So we'll just keep drawing them off and see what we can do. I'm really looking forward to having mastery over water magic in this game, because mastery over water magic will... Oop, let's just retreat a little bit there because we need to heal up. Actually, we have a better heal than that we should be using. We have Power Cure now, which will heal the entire party for a much greater outlay of mana, admittedly. But in a place like this where we're all getting hit roughly equally, I think it's going to be worth doing that occasionally. Okay, Earth Elemental. So yes, getting mastery over water magic. Basically, you know, there's quite a few water magic spells, but the thing that makes the school really indispensable is are the spells that make it easy to travel around fast. We will soon be at the point where we're barely going to have to walk around in Enroth at all. We can just sort of instantaneously port to where we want to be. And that is going to open up the game quite a lot. It will mean that we can do a lot of time-critical quests, like the Shrine quests, with considerable ease compared to how we're doing them now. I'm going to fire up Protection from Magic again because I think it probably just expired given how we were getting hit there. We got a Great Druid over there. She goes down. Let's see. Just take as many of these out as we can. I think we can just stand here and do this because we're close to being able to take all these out. And once that's done, we are done. We probably should make sure we're at least pointing at the characters we're trying to hit, though. That they're at least on the screen. That will dramatically improve our chance of hitting. No, I just want to retreat a little bit. This door is closed. Interesting. So, at some point, we must have passed some sort of invisible trigger that closes the door behind us and traps us in that room. But wherever that trigger was, it wasn't in its most effective place as a trap, because we did retreat several times and drew off quite a few characters. So maybe we were just being a little more cautious than the game expected us to be. Okay, and here we are. So, what we have here... Oh, alright, we have got a couple of chests we're going to need to be careful around. So let's make sure no one is going to get killed by these. Chest number 1 has an absolute ton of gold. That's going to come in handy. Belt of Luck plus 23. That's pretty high, I think. We've got a crown here that's will give us plus 10 to endurance, armor, and hit points. Well, probably endurance is the thing that matters there. We've got a book, an earth magic spell book, spell tome, stone to flesh. Let's check. I think a cleric is the earth magician, and yes, we don't have stone to flesh. So let's teach him that. And we now have another one. So I don't think we've hit any encounters yet that will that require that, but we will no doubt at some point in the future. Okay, we've got a jeweled dagger, a ring that doesn't really do anything. We've got a plus 16 dragon leather armor, flying fist scroll, and we have a letter from Cedric Druthers. Let's see what it says. Continue to work your dark enchantments on the Monolith. If we are able to corrupt the Monolith fully, we will weaken Loretta's druids to a point where we can take over. This task is critical to our future plans. Do not fail. Okay, so then we have this pool here that opens a door in the back, and then the evil altar. If we click that, we get plus 5 personality permanent to, I think that's a clerics and druids. Personality, pretty great, because that will give us more spell points for both of those characters, it seems. Yeah. So that was a nice little buff that we just got for free there at the end of it. Let's just look at our XP. We need 15,000 more. So let's go back to town. Hand this in. I assume this is a way out. Yeah, click that flower. We're back at the start. And let's see if we can hand this in. And if we can, if it gives us the XP we are looking for. I'll just head back into Silver Cove to the quest giver and see what we get out of it. Although we're probably going to have to find an inn to rest and wait until we can go to the trainer anyway.
Hello.
Okay, quest. Thank you for your help. Please allow me to compensate you for your efforts. We can rest more safely knowing that Cedric and his renegade druids are no longer polluting that sacred area. Ah, we're just a little shy. 299. Alright, so our actually our Crusader is eligible. Our Priest isn't. And he's 2,000 odd. Our Archmage isn't and needs about 800. So we are just a little bit shy of the XP that we are going to need in order to hit the thresholds for Master of Water Magic and Fire Magic. Okay, so we just need a few more XP. So even though this episode has gone on, you know, quite a way at this point, actually let's just rest and heal there. Let's just go into this dungeon and kill a few things in the entrance, just enough that we're going to hit that threshold. And we'll see how that goes for us. Hopefully this stuff in here is not... I have no idea what actually is in here, but hopefully it's not going to harm us too much. I've got a feeling off these side chain... Yeah, I already see stuff. There we go. So we've got... Oh, right, okay, so we've got melee swordsmen and things. That's fine, we can take out these fairly safely. I think. Let's see. We just need to get enough kills here that the XP that we gain from the kills just tips us, or at least those two characters, just slightly over the edge, and then we can go and train to 32. And then, in the next episode, we can head for Mist, and we can get Mastery in not one, but two. Oh, there's quite a few here. Okay. In not one, but two schools of magic, and that is going to be a game changer. It really will. So let's just take out as many of these as we can. Hopefully these ones in the entrance will be sufficient, because I don't even know what this dungeon is. I don't know whether we've been sent here at some point. Presumably we're going to need to clean it out. I don't want to do it right now. I want to just do what we are planning to do, which is get the masteries. Everything else can wait. Let's see, so there's a soldier up there. If they get a little closer, it would be a little easier, actually. Fortunately, nothing here is going to attack us with... Well, nothing I've seen so far is going to attack us with any sort of ranged combat, so we're fairly safe. Spark's just great in these confined quarters, just to take these things out fast. Unfortunately, though, I think we've more or less reached the damage limit of Spark, so unless we're going to put more points into air magic, which we probably won't, at least not our sorcerer, I think we've essentially maximised the effectiveness of this, which means when we're dealing with harder enemies than these, Sparks is not going to really do it for us. Okay, let's see. So, yes, Druid is ready to level up. Priest is ready to level up. Great. Which means the Archmage is as well. So let's just do get some loot, get some gold, and then head back into town to the trainer. If we can find the trainer. I have no idea where the trainer is. Let's try over there. It looks as though it's that building over there. Yeah, here we go. And here we go. Let's see. Train to level 32, 32, 32, 32, 32. Which means there's one more thing we have to do. Just allocate the skill points. Well, it's going to be very easy for our Druid, because we're going up to Water Magic 12. Easy also for our Sorcerer, goes up to Fire Magic 12. Our Cleric has reached Body Magic Master in the previous episode, so gets a little more complicated. I don't know what we're going to put more points into on that character yet. And as for Hewitt, well, no, with him I'm gonna leave the points unallocated as well. I need to make some decisions around that. So, next episode, what we will do is head to Mist, and if we're lucky... No, we're not lucky. This boat sometimes takes us to Mist. We may have to wait around until we find until we get to the right point in the shipping schedule that the boat will take us to Mist. But then we can go there, we can master a couple of different spell schools. We'll go and find a Perception Master as well, a Mind Magic Expert, and just work on some of these skills before we get into one of the new council quests that we'll do in the episode 2 episodes from now. Anyway, that's the plan. I usually have a hard time sticking to it, to be honest. Anyway, thanks very much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time for more Magic 6.